The hospital room smelled of antiseptic and regret. A sterile cage where my dreams bled out alongside my leg. I woke to the hum of machines. My left thigh a phantom where flesh once was. And the weight of his absence heavier than the bomb that took me apart. His name was Ethan. And I'd carried his heart through the dust of Afghanistan only to lose him when I came home broken. My name is Caleb Monroe. And I was 26 when I returned to North Carolina in 2020. A wounded veteran with a purple heart I didn't want and a love I couldn't keep. Ethan Caldwell, my captain, my everything, stood by my bedside for 3 days after the explosion. His hazel eyes brimming with guilt and promises. "I'll never leave you, Kel," he'd whispered, his hand trembling as it brushed mine. But war doesn't just break bodies, it fractures souls. And Ethan's ambition was a force stronger than shrapnel. He was destined for greatness, a rising star in politics. And I was the secret he couldn't afford to keep. We'd met in basic training. 2 kids from opposite worlds. A scrappy farm boy from Asheville. And him, the golden son of a Raleigh political dynasty. Our love was born in stolen glances across barracks. In whispered confessions under desert stars. In the adrenaline of survival. It was reckless, forbidden, but undeniable. When I stepped on that IED to shield him, I didn't hesitate. His life was worth more than mine, or so I thought. But when I woke up stateside, half a man in a hospital bed, I saw the truth in his eyes. He loved me, but he loved his future more. By the time I was discharged, Ethan was already campaigning for state senator. His family's legacy demanded a perfect image wife. Kids. Picket fence. Not a crippled soldier with scars too deep to hide. So I made the choice for both of us. I left. No note. No goodbye. Just a one-way bus ticket to a nowhere town in Oregon. I vanished into the rain-soaked forests, trading my medals for solitude and my heart for survival. 5 years later, I'm 31, running a small bookstore in Astoria. My prosthetic leg a constant reminder of what I lost. The locals know me as the quiet guy with a limp and a dog named Scout. A scruffy mutt who sleeps by the counter. I've built a life here, fragile but mine, surrounded by books and the salty tang of the Pacific. I don't watch the news. Don't follow politics. Don't let myself think of him. But Ethan hasn't forgotten me. He's a senator now, a national name. And last week, his face was everywhere on TV, on X, in the papers. He's searching for me, tearing through every corner of the country with a desperation that cracks my carefully rebuilt world. It started with a post on X, one I couldn't ignore. A grainy photo of us from the war, my arms slung around his shoulders. Both of us grinning under helmets caked in dust. Below it, his words, "To the man who saved my life, I've never stopped looking for you. Please, come home." The post went viral, shared thousands of times, with hashtags like Find Caleb and War Hero trending. Strangers are speculating, journalists digging, and my quiet life is unraveling. I want to run again, but Scout's warm weight against my leg keeps me grounded. I can't escape the truth. Ethan's searching, and he's closer than I think. The bell above my bookstore door jingles, and I tense. Every customer feels like a threat now. Every stranger a potential link to him. A woman in her 40s, with kind eyes and a reporter's notepad, steps inside. "Caleb Monroe?" she asks, her voice soft but probing. My heart stutters. I could lie. But my limp and my face betray me. She's not the first to come looking, and she won't be the last. Ethan's reach is long, his determination fiercer than any battlefield. I grip the counter, my knuckles white. I'm not who you think, I say, but my voice cracks, and Scout whines at my feet. The reporter doesn't push, just slides a card across the counter with a number and a name. Sarah Klein, Portland Tribune. When you're ready to talk. Caleb. He's not giving up. She leaves, and I'm alone again, the weight of Ethan's search pressing down like a storm cloud. I close the shop early, locking the door and sinking into the armchair by the window. Scout curls up beside me, his warmth a small anchor. Outside, the Oregon rain falls in sheets, blurring the world beyond the glass. I pull up the X-post again, my thumb hovering over Ethan's face. He's older now, sharper, but those hazel eyes still cut through me. Why now? Why after 5 years of silence? I want to hate him, to bury the ache that's clawing its way back. But love doesn't die, it just festers. That night, I dream of Afghanistan, of the blast that tore me apart, of Ethan's voice screaming my name. I wake gasping, my stump throbbing, Scout licking my hand. The past is a ghost I can't outrun, and Ethan's search is pulling it closer. I don't know if I'm ready to be found, but I know one thing, this story isn't over. Not yet. The rain doesn't stop in Astoria, and neither does the noise. My phone buzzes with notification strangers tagging me on X, reporters emailing, even a few old army buddies reaching out. Ethan's post has turned my life into a spotlight, and I'm the deer frozen in its glare. I mute my phone, but the silence only amplifies the thud of my heart. Scout senses my unease, his brown eyes watching me as I pace the cramped apartment above the bookstore. I try to focus on the Mundener stocking shelves, feeding Scout, brewing coffee that tastes like ash. But every creak of the floorboards feels like Ethan's footsteps, every shadow a reminder of the life I left behind. I haven't spoken his name aloud in years, but it's carved into my bones, a wound that never healed. I loved him with a fierceness that scared me, and I lost him to a world that wouldn't let us exist. Yesterday, I found a letter slipped under the bookstore door. No stamp, no return address, just my name in careful handwriting. Inside, a single line, I know you're out there, Kel. I'm coming. It wasn't signed, but it didn't need to be. Ethan's words have always had a way of finding me, like shrapnel lodged too deep to remove. I burned the letter in the sink, watching the flames curl around his promise. But the words still haunt me. I'm not ready for this. I built walls around my heart, brick by brick, to keep him out. But Ethan's search is relentless, and the world is helping him. The X-post has spawned articles, podcasts, even a hashtag campaign that paints me as some tragic war hero. They don't know the truth that I wasn't a hero, just a man in love, willing to die for the one person who made the chaos of war feel like home. This morning, I walk Scout along the Columbia River, the mist clinging to my jacket. The town is quiet, but I feel eyes on Muriel or Imagined. I can't tell anymore. A black SUV idles at the corner, its tinted windows hiding whoever's inside. My gut twists. I've seen cars like that before. Back when Ethan's family sent fixers to ensure their golden boy's secrets stayed buried. I tug Scout's leash and head back, my limp more pronounced in the damp air. Back at the bookstore, I find another visitor waiting, a man this time. Mid-30s, with a military haircut and a scar across his jaw. He introduces himself as Marcus, a private investigator hired by someone important. His voice is calm, but his eyes are sharp, cataloging every detail of my face. Caleb Monroe, right? You're a hard man to find. I don't respond, just point to the door. He doesn't budge, sliding a photo across the counter instead a candid shot of me and Ethan in the desert. Laughing, our shoulders brushing. My chest aches. He's not stopping, Marcus says, his tone almost sympathetic. Senator Caldwell's put everything on the line for this. You should hear him out. I want to scream that I don't owe Ethan anything, that I gave him my leg, my future, my heart. But I just shake my head. And Marcus leaves, promising to be back. I lock the door behind him, my hands shaking. That night, I dig out the box I've kept hidden under my beta shoebox of memories I swore I'd never open. Inside are letters from Ethan, written in the margins of army manuals, and a photo of us at a base camp, his arm around me, both of us oblivious to the war waiting to tear us apart. I trace his smile, and the ache in my chest becomes a flood. I loved him so much it hurt, and I left because I couldn't be his shadow, his shame. Scout whines, nudging my hand, and I realize I'm crying. The rain outside mirrors my tears, a relentless rhythm that matches the questions pounding in my head. Why is Ethan doing this? What does he want after all these years? I thought I'd buried our story, but it's clawing its way back, and I'm not sure I can outrun it this time. The bookstore feels like a trap now, its walls closing in with every new headline. Ethan's search has gone national, his face plastered on morning shows, his voice steady as he talks about the soldier who saved my life. He doesn't say my name, but he doesn't need. Tommy Face is out there, dug up from old army records, splashed across X with captions that twist my sacrifice into a feel-good story. I'm not a hero. I'm a man who loved too hard and lost too much. I stop answering the phone, stop checking X. But the world keeps intruding. Customers whisper when they think I'm not listening, their eyes lingering on my prosthetic leg. Scout senses my tension, sticking closer than usual, his warmth the only thing keeping me grounded. I want to run again, to find another nowhere town. But Ethan's reach feels infinite, his determination a tidal wave I can't escape. This morning, package Arevesno return address. Just a small box wrapped in brown paper. Inside is a watch, the one I gave Ethan before our last mission, engraved with "Always yours, Kel." My breath catches. I thought it was lost in the chaos of war. But here it is, ticking softly, a piece of our past returned to me. Tucked beneath it is a note in Ethan's handwriting. I kept this safe. Now let me keep you safe. My hands tremble as I set it down, the weight of his words heavier than the metal. I don't know what he wants: redemption, forgiveness, or something else entirely. But I know what I feel: anger, longing, fear, all tangled together like barbed wire. I loved him enough to die for him, but I left because I couldn't live as his secret. Now he's a senator, a public figure with a perfect life, wife, daughter, campaign posters smiling from every corner. Why risk it all to find me? I'm restocking shelves when the bell jingles again. This time, there's a woman I recognize: Lila, Ethan's older sister. She's 35 now, her dark hair pulled back, her eyes carrying the same intensity as her brother's. "Caleb," she says softly, and the sound of my name in her voice rips open old wounds. She was the only one in his family who knew about us. The only one who didn't flinch when I held his hand. "He's falling apart without you," she says, her voice breaking. "He needs you." I want to laugh, to scream that I needed him when I was learning to walk again, when I was drowning in pain and pills. But I just stare at her, my throat tight. "He has a family now," I say finally. "He made his choice." Lila shakes her head, stepping closer. "He didn't choose this life, Caleb. It was chosen for him, and he's fighting to change it." She tells me Ethan's marriage is a sham, a political arrangement to appease his father's ambitions. His daughter, Ellie, is 4, and he loves her fiercely, but the rest is a facade. He's been searching for me since the day I left, using every resource, every connection, to track me down. "He's coming to Astoria," Lila says. "Tomorrow. You can't hide forever." I feel the ground shift beneath me. Tomorrow. After 5 years. Ethan will be here. In my town. My sanctuary. I want to hate him. But the watch on my counter ticks like a heartbeat, reminding me of the boy I loved under desert stars. Lila leaves, and I'm alone again. Scout nudging my hand. I don't know if I'm ready to face him, but I know I can't run anymore. The morning dawns gray, the Oregon mist thicker than usual, as if the world is holding its breath. I don't open the bookstore today. Instead, I sit by the window, the watch in my hand, is ticking a countdown to Ethan's arrival. Scout lies at my feet, his ears twitching at every sound. I'm not ready for this, but the choice isn't mine anymore. Ethan's coming, and with him, the past I've tried to bury. I think of the last time I saw him, in that hospital room, his face pale and drawn. He'd promised to stay, but I saw the conflict in his eyes, love warring with duty, with the weight of his family's expectations. I left so he wouldn't have to choose, but now he's choosing anyway, tearing through the country to find me. Feels like a betrayal, like he's ripping away the peace I've fought for. By noon, the town is buzzing. News vans line the street, their cameras trained on my bookstore. I pull the shades, but the weight of their lenses presses against me. X is flooded with update sightings of Ethan's convoy. Speculation about the soldier he's searching for. I want to scream that I'm not a story, not a headline, but the world doesn't care. To them, I'm a mystery to be solved, a puzzle to fit into Ethan's narrative. I'm brewing coffee when the bell jingles, and my heart stops. I turn, expecting Ethan, but it's Marcus again, the private investigator. "He's here," he says, his voice low. "At the hotel by the river. He wants to see you, Caleb. Just you." I want to refuse, to tell him to leave me alone, but the watch in my pocket feels like a brand. "I need time," I say, but Marcus shakes his head. "Time's up. He's not leaving without you." I close the shop and take Scout for a walk, hoping the air will clear my head. The river is choppy today, mirroring the storm inside me. I think of Ethan's smile, his touch, the way he made me feel whole even when the world was falling apart. I think of the pain, to the silence after I left, the years of rebuilding myself without him. I don't know if I can forgive him, but I know I can't keep running. Back at the apartment, I find another note slipped under the door. This one is longer. Written in Ethan's hurried scrawl, Cal, I know I failed you. I let you go because I was a coward. But I'm not that man anymore. I'm here, and I'll wait as long as it takes. Please, let me see you. My eyes burn, and Scout nudges my leg. Sensing my turmoil, I tuck the note into my pocket, next to the watch, and make a decision. I'll go to him. Not for him, but for me to face the past and finally let it go. I dress carefully, choosing a flannel shirt and jeans. The prosthetic leg hidden but not forgotten. Scout stays behind, his eyes sad as I leave. The hotel is a short walk, but each step feels like a mile, my heart pounding with every stride. When I reach the lobby, it's empty except for a man in a suit, his back to me, staring out at the river. His shoulders are broader now, his hair touched with gray, but I'd know him anywhere. Ethan, I say, my voice barely a whisper. He turns, and those hazel eyes lock onto mine, raw and unguarded. Caleb, he breathes, and the world falls away. Ethan's voice cracks on my name, and for a moment, we're not in a hotel lobby in a story back in the desert. Young and fearless, stealing moments between missions. But the illusion shatters as he steps closer, his eyes tracing the lines of my face, lingering on the shadows time has carved. I want to run, to hide, but his gaze pins me in place, a mix of guilt and longing that mirrors my own. Caleb, he says again, softer, like a prayer. I thought I'd never find you. His voice is the same, warm and steady, but there's a weight to it now, a weariness I don't recognize. He's a senator, a father, a man who's lived a life I wasn't part of. And yet, here he is, standing in my world, unraveling everything I've built. I don't know what to say, so I say nothing, my hands clenched at my sides. The lobby is too quiet, the hum of the river outside the only sound. Ethan takes another step, and I flinch, my prosthetic leg shifting awkwardly. His eyes flicker to it, and I see the pain there, the guilt he's carried for 5 years. I'm so sorry, he whispers, for everything. Don't. I snap, my voice sharper than I intend. You don't get to do this, Ethan. You don't get to show up and act like it fixes anything. My anger surprises me, bubbling up from a place I thought I'd buried. I left to protect him, to protect myself. But the wound is still raw, bleeding under his gaze. He doesn't back away. I know I failed you, he says, his voice steady despite the tremor in his hands. I let you go because I was scared of my family, of losing everything. But I lost you instead, and it's the biggest mistake of my life. His words hit like a punch, stealing my breath. I want to believe him, but trust is a fragile thing, and mine shattered long ago. He tells me about his life since I left his marriage to Claire, a political alliance that crumbled under the weight of his secrets. His daughter, Ellie, who's the only light in his world. His rise to senator, a dream he chased to fill the void I left. He's been searching for me since the day I disappeared, hiring investigators, scouring records, following every lead. The ex-post was his last resort, a desperate plea to a world he hoped would help him find me. Why now? I ask, my voice hoarse. Why after all this time? He looks at me, his eyes wet. Because I can't keep living a lie. I love you, Caleb. I always have. And I'm done hiding it. The words are a knife, cutting through the walls I've built. I want to scream, to cry, to fall into his arms. But I'm frozen, caught between the past and the present. We talk for hours, the lobby emptying around us. He tells me about the pressure from his family, the threats to disown him if he came out, the fear that kept him silent. I tell him about the pain of relearning to walk, the nights I woke screaming his name, the quiet life I've carved out in Astoria. It's raw, messy, real. And when he reaches for my hand, I don't pull away. As the sun sets, he asks me to come with him, to Raleigh, to face the world together. I don't answer. Not yet. I need time, space to process the storm he's brought into my life. He nods, understanding, and hands me a key to his hotel room. I'll wait, he says, as long as it takes. I leave, the key heavy in my pocket. Scout waiting for me at home. The rain has stopped, but the air is thick with possibility and fear. Back in my apartment, the key Ethan gave me sits on the counter, glinting under the dim light. Scout curls up beside me, his warmth a reminder of the life I've built here, far from the chaos of Ethan's world. But his words echo in my head. I love you, Caleb. I'm done hiding. They're everything I wanted to hear 5 years ago, but now they feel like a challenge, a dare to step back into a life I fought to leave behind. I don't sleep. Instead, pace, the prosthetic leg aching with every step. I think of Ethan's life, his daughter, his career, the cameras that follow him everywhere. If I go with him, I'll be exposed, my scars laid bare for the world to judge. But if I stay, I'll spend the rest of my life wondering what could have been. The watch ticks on my wrist, a rhythm that matches my heartbeat, urging me to decide. By morning, the news vans are back, their presence a suffocating reminder of Ethan's reach. I slip out the back, Scout at my side, and head to the river. The water is calm today, a mirror for the turmoil inside me. I sit on a bench, the same one I imagined in that image prompt, and pull out Ethan's note. His handwriting is messy, desperate, a far cry from the polished senator the world sees. I trace the words, and for the first time, I let myself imagine a future with him, not the one we lost, but a new one, built on truth. I'm still sitting there when Lila finds me. She's alone, her face softer than yesterday. He's leaving tonight, she says. He won't force you, Caleb, but he needs to know. I nod, my throat tight. She sits beside me, silent for a moment, then says, he's changed, you know. He's fighting for you, for himself, for a life he should have chosen years ago. Her words hit hard, stirring the embers of hope I've tried to smother. I return to the bookstore, the key burning a hole in my pocket. The day passes in a blur. Customers, questions, the weight of Ethan's presence in town. By evening, I know what I have to do. I lock up, feed Scout, and head to the hotel. The lobby is quiet. The news van's gone for now. I take the elevator to Ethan's floor, my heart pounding as I knock on his door. He opens it, and for a moment, We just stare. He's in a t-shirt and jeans. Not the senator's suit. And it's like seeing the boy I loved again. Caleb, he says, his voice raw. I step inside. And the door closes behind me, shutting out the world. We talk again. But this time it's different, less guarded. More honest. He tells me about Ellie. How she asks about the soldier in the photo on his desk. He tells me he's ready to come out. To face the fallout. If it means having me back. I tell him about my fears. My scars. The life I've built without him. He listens. His hand finding mine. And when he pulls me close, I don't resist. His embrace is familiar. Safe. And for the first time in years, I feel whole. But I'm not ready to decide, not yet. I tell him I need one more day. And he nods. His eyes wet but hopeful. I'll wait, he says again. And I believe him. I leave the hotel as the sun rises. The key still in my pocket. Scout waiting at home. The world feels different now. Not lighter, but clearer. I have a choice to make. And for the first time, I'm not running from it. The morning air is crisp. The kind that cuts through your jacket and reminds you you're alive. I walk Scout along the river. The key in my pocket, a constant weight. Ethan's leaving tonight. And I still haven't decided stay in the safety of Astoria or step into the unknown with him. Every step feels like a choice. My prosthetic leg a reminder of what I've survived. And what I've lost. Back at the bookstore, I find a crowd outside, reporters. Locals. Even a few tourists drawn by the viral story. They're calling me a hero again. But I'm just a man trying to hold onto his peace. I slip in through the back. Locking the door behind me. Scout curls up by the counter. And I try to focus on work. But my mind is with Ethan, his touch. His promise. The life he's offering. By noon, another visitor arrives, Claire. Ethan's wife. She's petite. With sharp eyes and a quiet strength that makes me uneasy. I'm not here to fight, she says. Her voice calm but firm. I just need you to understand what you're walking into. She tells me about the pressure Ethan's under, his family. His party. The voters who expect a perfect image. Coming out could end his career. Alienate his daughter. Destroy everything he's built. He loves you, she says. But love doesn't always win. Her words shake me. Not because they're new, but because they're true. I've always known Ethan's world is bigger than me. Than us. But I also see the truth in her eyes letting him go. Not because she doesn't care, but because she knows he'll never be whole without me. She leaves. And I'm alone again. The weight of her words settling beside Ethan's. I close the shop early and head to the park. The one from the image prompt. Where the bench with its carved plaque feels like a sign. I sit. Scout at my feet. And pull out the watch. Always yours, Kel. The words are a promise. A vow Ethan's kept despite everything. I think of the boy I loved. The man he's become. And the man I am now, not broken. But scarred. Stronger for it. I make my decision as the sun dips low. Painting the sky in shades of fire. I return to the hotel. Scout in tow. And find Ethan in the lobby. His bags packed. His face a mix of hope and fear. Caleb, he says. Standing as I approach. I don't let him speak. I take his hand. The key pressed between our palms. And say, I'm coming with you. His eyes widen. Then soften. tears spilling over. He pulls me into a hug. And for a moment, the world is just us two men who fought wars, both on the battlefield and in their hearts. We don't know what comes next, but we know we'll face it together. As we leave the hotel, Scout trotting beside us, I feel the weight of the past lift. Just a little. The future is uncertain. But for the first time, I'm not afraid. Raleigh is louder than Astoria. Its streets buzzing with energy that feels both thrilling and overwhelming. We've been here a week, staying in a small apartment Ethan rented away from the political spotlight. Scout loves the new backyard, chasing squirrels while Ethan and I navigate the fragile newness of us. It's not easy love, never is, but it's real. And that's enough for now. Ethan's announcement comes on a Tuesday, a press conference streamed live across the country. He stands at a podium, his daughter Ellie clutching his hand, and tells the world the truth. He's gay. He's in love. And he's done hiding. He talks about Mennett as a hero, but as the man who saved him, in more ways than one. I watch from the apartment, my heart in my throat, Scout's head in my lap. The world reacts some with hate, some with support, but Ethan doesn't flinch. He's chosen us, and I've chosen him. The fallout is immediate. His family disowns him. His party wavers. But Ellie's love keeps him grounded. And so do I. We meet her the next day. A bright-eyed girl who calls me Mr. Caleb and asks if Scout can sleep in her room. We're a family. Unconventional and scarred, but whole in a way I never thought possible. I start physical therapy again. Not just for my leg, but for my soul. Ethan joins me sometimes. His presence a reminder that we're in this together. The bookstore in Astoria is up for sale, but I'm not sure I'm ready to let it go. It's part of me. Like Ethan. Like Scout. Maybe we'll split our time. Build a life between two worlds. One night, we sit on the balcony. The city lights spread out before us. Ethan takes my hand, the watch on my wrist catching the glow. I'm sorry it took me so long, he says, his voice soft. I shake my head, leaning into him. You found me, I say. That's what matters. The road ahead is uncertain politics, prejudice, the weight of our past. But we've faced worse. And we've come out stronger. I left to save him, to save myself. But now we're here, together, building something new. A Scout curls up at our feet. I realize this is the ending I didn't dare hope for, a love that survived war, loss, and time. A love that's worth fighting for.